Hey everybody, Jerkovet here, back again with another video. This time bringing you guys a video unlike anything that I've really done in quite a while. And that is, I'm doing a review type video of a Star Wars action figure. Now, you guys may be wondering, like, why choose to, do a review just out of the blue like this? And as you guys know, I am a very irregular type reviewer. I hardly ever review anything. I just, I may post about it on social media that about what figure I just picked up, and if I give it the thumbs up or the thumbs down. But there is the rare exception where I just enjoy a figure so much that I feel compelled to do a video on it, and this is one of those rare instances. So I've kind of hodgepodge this hastily made review station real quick for you guys, and the figure I am talking about today is the Star Wars The Black Series number 26 Darth Vader. Really enjoying this figure, like I said. Now hopefully my camera can pick up the finer details of it. Keep it like at this range. Yeah, really surprised with how much I enjoy this figure. It's kind of like a trope of Star Wars collecting that, you can never get too many Vaders, or, that there's just so many of them, of him made, that, we literally just got a Darth Vader in the Black Series 3 3/4 inch, in the inaugural wave. So why do we need to have another Vader so soon? But Hasbro's really surprised us with this one. This is as far as I can tell, a completely brand new tooling for Vader. No reuse parts on this one, and it is just an exceptional figure. So I guess I'll start with the basics of why he's so great. First off, the aesthetic. This, I think, is the best looking Vader figure that we've ever gotten in the 3 3/4 inch range. In terms of just screen accuracy, I think he blows all previous ones out of the water. In particular with the helmet. Now let's see if this thing will want to focus. Maybe, like I said, haven't done reviewing in a while, so bear with me if my camera wants to work or not. The helmet on this one just looks fantastic. Now this is supposed to be based on Vader's appearance at the end of Revenge of the Sith. And I haven't gone through the nitpicks of what makes the different versions of Vader different from one another, besides, the obvious ones of like the brown goggles in A New Hope. But really, this one, I don't think it is so specific that this doesn't work for just any Vader. I mean, look at that side profile. I mean, is there something about this that I'm missing that just makes it so Revenge of the Sith? Maybe it's in the helmet. I've read a while back that they did like something with Revenge of the Sith, like they scanned in the right side of his helmet and then made the left one completely symmetrical, which, if you watch the original trilogy, it wasn't completely symmetrical. So, little stuff like that, but just looks so great. I really think the helmet just came out fantastic on this one. It's a solid piece, no removable helmet feature, which personally I'm perfectly fine with. I don't really need to see Anakin's mug underneath the helmet. And now there has been a commonly reported problem with this figure, that the head tends to pop off if you apply pressure to it, or some people just say that their heads they fall off without any push or anything like that. I've not had that problem to that extreme. Now, if you do, like, I'm not gonna do it right now, but if I were just to, like, pull back, I would pop it off without too much trouble. But that is also, it's kind of a good thing, because you can also, in that case, you can remove the cape. So if you want to have, like, Vader in his chamber, you want to have that kind of look, you can do that. So that's, I think that's, it's a good touch that you can remove the cape, whereas most Vader figures you cannot. Also, but like I said, just the aesthetic of this is fantastic, particularly with the helmet region. Just the sculpt just blows it out of the water. I think it just looks so great. Also, the rest of the body looks very nice as well. I have him on a stand. He does not come with a stand, but I just have him on there for review purposes. I did initially have some trouble getting him to stand up, but as of late, I've kind of found the sweet spot for standing him up, so to speak. So, but just for review purposes, I have him on the stand. But the rest of the figure looks good. He's got his control box here, and it's painted well. And his little pieces of armor, and you can see the little. Instead of, I'll bring out another past Vader in here for comparison in just a moment. But instead of having like a little fabric. Little silver fabric to stand in for the little chain on his armor. They just sculpted it in and painted it, which I think is much better aesthetically. But yeah, the rest of the figure is as you would expect it. He's got his belt, he's got his, rest of his armor, the leather, and then the boots. And all the appropriate parts look shiny. The helmet, of course, is nice and shiny. I don't know if you can tell in the light, but it reflects well. As well as the crotch piece, the cod piece, and then his boots all reflect very nicely. So the aesthetic of the figure looks amazing, but what really, in addition to that makes it so great is that it looks so fantastic, and it also has a ton of articulation. More articulation than I've ever seen on a Vader figure. Now, I don't own the Vintage Collection A New Hope Vader, which I've heard also has ball-hinged hips, but in terms of, I believe this figure has even more articulation than that. He has a ball-hinged neck, which is really awesome. On previous Vaders, we only had a swivel, but because of the way it is, because it has a little joint that it pops into on the torso, you can tilt it like to the side, and you can make him look up, which that's great. I've never had a Vader figure that can look up, so that's really cool. And then he can look down and all that. So, and then moving on, he's got the ball shoulders. He's got the hinge swivel elbows, and instead of with previous Vaders, he just had a swivel at the glove. This Vader actually has a swivel at the wrist, and it can pivot at the wrist, so you can do, like, I don't know, let's move the cape, there you can see it better, so you can pivot inwards, outwards, all that's cool for getting him in some cool lightsaber poses. Again, really awesome articulation at the waist. He also is on a ball, so he can go back, as well as doing side to side, and he can do front a little bit, but not too much because of the belt gets in the way there. And then moving on, like I said, he's got the ball hips, which makes getting him into really wide lightsaber poses really cool. And then the swivel hinge knees, and he's also got a pivot at the ankle in addition to just the up and down. So again, really helps to get him into cool action poses. So, awesome articulation on this Vader in addition to the aesthetic. And like I said, out for comparison, here is a previous Vader. I believe this was originally in the, I believe it was like the Rise of the Dark Side. It was like the Clone Wars blue packaging. I believe that's when this was originally released. But it was, this particular version is the Vintage Collection number 8 Darth Vader, I believe, from Empire Strikes Back. So as you can see, I just really like the aesthetic of the new one a lot more. I mean, the helmet on this one may be a bit more original trilogy accurate, but in terms of just looking nicer, this one does, because you can see on this one that I don't know, just the proportions on the new figure feel a lot more natural and feel a lot more screen accurate than this one did, which felt a bit, kind of blocky at parts. I guess that'd be the best way to describe it. It just feels very, I don't know, toyish, I guess, in comparison when you look at the proportions of each other, or each one. And this one, but this one does have the removable helmet, which I'd say just kind of touch again upon the people saying that this one's head pops off too easily. I'd say it's no more annoying than the ease at which the helmet on this one pops off, because this one pops off quite a bit as well. And then you can see what I'm talking about with the metal chain. This one just looks a lot more aesthetically pleasing, whereas this one's a bit jarring with how it just hovers above his chest there. And again, this one does not have as nice articulation by any means as the new one. So yeah, I'd say, again, this one, does have... I would have picked this one up a lot sooner if it wasn't for, like, the stigma of, oh, it's a Revenge of the Sith one, but really, it's like, how much have they changed the design from the original trilogy that makes this one stick out as Revenge of the Sith? I think it works perfectly fine in an original trilogy display. I have here with me... Here's the Emperor, and you want to do an Endor, Death Star 2, Emperor's Arrival scene. That one, I think that looks really great right there. And here's Luke, his, father and son standing next to each other. Now, I do have to say that out of packaging, I have done a little bit of modifications, but involving the cloth goods. I think out of packaging, this figure kind of has the same problems as any Star Wars figure with cloth goods, that in this scale the cloth is a bit floaty. It doesn't really lay flat. So what I've done, just for you guys to know, in case you want to replicate yourselves, taking off the stand real quick. So flipping him around on the back, and this is going to be difficult to tell because of the lighting, but I have folded his cape a little bit and then just used double-sided tape to make it stay. And in my experience, double-sided tape is both effective at keeping cloth goods in place, and it does not permanently damage the figure in the process. So if I did want to reverse it, I could. And it's the same here with his, I don't know what the term for it, but not just say his skirt. I've done the similar thing because it was very floaty, so I've just made it lay flat. But yeah, so let's fix that. So I've just done that just so it lies a lot better. And just, it really, again, when you just do those small little things, it really makes this figure look fantastic. Again, the cape lies on him really well after you do that. Whereas this one's helmet's popped off, of course. So again, just comparing these two, yeah, the cloak on the newer Black Series one just lies a lot better than on the old Vintage Collection / Saga Legends / Black Series Wave 1 Vader. So, I know, I'm kind of repeating my points now, but just an amazing, amazing looking Vader in my opinion. And just looks so screen accurate. And I'm really gushing over this figure. I've enjoyed this Star Wars figure more than I have any other 3 3/4 inch Star Wars figure in quite a long time. It's just really hit that Star Wars spot for me, making me feel the love for the collecting again. So, really, really enjoying this Vader figure. So definitely worth a pickup. And before I forget, just to mention what he comes with, seems like a very important thing, shouldn't forget that. Of course, he comes with a lightsaber. Wow, wow, wow. And he comes with an unlit lightsaber hilt, which is always nice. I like it when when Hasbro gives us this. Unfortunately, there is no way or spot to clip it on his belt, which I usually really like it when they do that. But unfortunately, that did not happen with this one. But it is, it's just regular unlit lightsaber hilt, but it looks nice. It's got nice paint apps, nice detail on it. Looks like his lightsaber. But both the lit and unlit lightsabers fit well into either of his hands, which is, again, something that's a plus over this one, because as if you own this figure, then this one has a really wide grip that you can't hold anything. It's really only good for doing force choke poses, but this figure can hold in either hand the accessories. So again, really, really love this figure. Really great Vader. And I think it's already, I've only had it for a few days, but it's climbed its way to my #1 favorite Vader figure spot. So that's quite an impressive accomplishment, because I have quite a few Vaders. So this one trumps them all in my opinion. So, whether you're just now getting into Star Wars collecting and you're looking for a Vader, or you're like me and you have a billion different Vaders, I think this is well worth the pickup, even at the $10 retail price tag. I've had so much fun with this Vader and posing him and doing different little mini diorama displays. It's really fun figure. Really, really fun figure. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this review, and I hope you hope you decide to pick up this figure. And if you already own this figure, then tell me in the comments section below what you think about him, because he's, again, really great Vader. And you know, Vader, he's one of my favorite characters. He's like everybody's favorite character, so you know, that also contributes. So that's it for me this time, guys. So again, you know, tell me in the comments section below what you guys think of this figure, or if you're even thinking about getting this figure. You know, are you one of those people that's just like, I have a billion different ones, I don't need another Vader? Or, you know, are you planning on getting him? So again, my opinion, well worth the money spent to get him, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion. So again, until next time, this is Joker Fett, signing out. Bye.